Hey guys, I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I was so excited to see my in-person friends these past few weeks. I hope you all that came to school in person had a wonderful first week back. So guys, can you feel the fall in the air? I can. And the best part of fall for me are the beautiful colors that we see on our trees. This week, we are going to revisit our elements of art and focus on one of my all-time favorite element, color. We are going to go over our primary, secondary, cool, and warm colors. And for my new friends, this will be new for you. After we're done going over our colors, we are going to listen to an awesome story about mixing colors. It also teaches us that it's okay to be different from someone else. Once we're done with our story time, we are going to go over our new art project, and it's going to deal with our cool and warm colors, and we're also going to talk a little bit about our lines. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into our elements of art. All right, so we have 7 elements of art. So there's line, color, value, shape, form, texture, and space. And we've already talked about the element line, so this week we're going to focus on color. So if you want to pause the video and just review the elements of art chart, feel free to do so. But now what we're going to focus on is our color wheel. All right, guys, so here is our beautiful color wheel. So we have our primary colors, we have our secondary colors, and we have our cool and warm colors. So let's start with our primary colors. So your primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. So the primary colors are the colors you use to create your secondary colors, which are your orange, purple, and green. So if you look closely at your color wheel, you see that the secondary colors are in between your primary colors. For example, you see that orange is in between the yellow and red. So that means that you would mix red and yellow to get the orange. And to get the color purple, you would mix the red and the blue. And as you can see on our color wheel, you see that the purple is in between that red and blue. Okay? So let's go ahead and switch gears and get into our warm and cool colors. So on the right side, we have our warm colors, which are yellow, orange, and red. And on the left side, we have our cool colors, which is green, blue, and purple. So I have a question for you guys. What do you think of when you think of the warm colors and the cool colors? For me, I think of the sun for the warm colors, and for the cool colors, I think of the ocean. So send me a private message and let me know, what do you think about when you think about our warm and cool colors? So we are going to be using the warm and cool colors today for our project. All right, guys, so let's jump right into our story called Mixed. I will be back in a few minutes, and enjoy the story.
Mixed, a colorful story by Ari Chang. In the beginning, there were 3 colors: reds, yellows, and blues. Reds were the loudest, yellows were the brightest, and blues were the coolest. Beep, beep. Everyone lived in color harmony until one afternoon when a red said,
"Reds are the best!"
The yellows disagreed.
"No, we're the best because we're the brightest."
And the blues were too cool to even respond. The colors decided to live in separate parts of the city. But one day, a yellow noticed a blue, and something happened.
"I feel so happy when I'm near you, and I feel so calm when I'm with you.
Yellow and blue became inseparable. Life felt so vibrant, but not all the colors were happy about it.
Colors shouldn't mix. I don't like that yellow's effect on blue. That blue isn't bright enough for yellow.
But yellow and blue loved each other so much they decided to mix. Together, they created a new color. They named her Green. Green was bright like yellow and calm like blue, but really, she was a color all her own. Everyone was fascinated.
I've never seen anything like her before. She is so cute.
Even the grumpy colors fell in love with Green.
Can I hold her?
The colors began to see new possibilities. Soon, other colors mixed, and mixed, and mixed, and mixed. There were so many new colors and a lot of new names.
Don't forget your glasses, Lavender. Be careful, Jay. Have fun, Amber.
The old neighborhoods of Redville, Bluetown, and Yale Heights didn't make sense anymore. Everyone wanted to live together, so they rebuilt the city. The new city was full of color. It wasn't perfect, but it was home. The end.
Hey guys, I'm back. Did y'all enjoy that story? I hope so. And also, I hope that you learned how to use your colors and what colors you use to get your purples, your greens, and your orange. Also, I hope that you learned that you can be friends with anybody that's different from you. It's okay to be different because you both bring something new to the table. So always keep that in mind when you're meeting new people and making new friends. Also, I would love to know your favorite color. So leave me a private message on Google Classroom and I will share with you my favorite color. Now let's go ahead and jump right into our project. So for this project, all you will need is a piece of paper and your crayons. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys. So before we get right into our project, I wanted to talk a little bit about our composition and what is our background, our middle ground, and our foreground, because we will be utilizing or using this space for our project. So for our background, the background is the scene that's furthest away in the picture. Because it's the background is meant to appear further away and it's smaller in size, it's not as bright in color, and it contains less details than the objects that are closer to us. So for the middle ground is basically the space that naturally occurs between the foreground and the background. Simple, right? And lastly, we have our foreground. So for our foreground, it's generally closer to the bottom of the composition or our paper. So because this is the part of the scene that is closer to the viewer, the objects appear to be larger. So with this in mind, this will help us to create our project today. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start off making our tree using 2 curved vertical lines. Now we're going to make our diagonal lines to make our branches. So we are going to connect our main branches with our small branches. So we're just going to section it off, as you can see. And now we're going to go ahead and fill in our tree with our black crayon. And once we're done coloring inside of our tree and our branches, we are going to divide our paper with some curved lines. And we are going to be using warm and cool colors to fill in our background and our foreground. So just take your time filling in the space. And make sure when you're coloring, you're going in one direction. Now, if you have markers and you would prefer to use markers, feel free to do so. Alright, so now as you can see, I'm making a horizontal line and I'm making some curved lines for the foreground. And I made a wavy line at the top. So now I am just using my warm colors to fill in the bottom portion of our paper or the foreground. And I'm just making a pattern using our yellow, reds, orange. And I'm also using that neutral color, which is brown. So just take your time. Also, make sure you're coloring in one direction. So as you can see, I'm coloring up and down. I'm almost finished with the bottom half. And once we're done with the bottom half, we're going to go to the top. And we're going to fill in the top portion of our background with cool colors. So we're going to be using blues, greens, and purples. And we're going to be using different shades of our cool colors. Also, I wanted to mention, if you are in Virtual Academy and you still have your watercolor palette, you can use that for this project. So if you're comfortable with using your watercolors, you can do that with this project, okay? So for the top portion of our project, you want to make sure you're spacing out your cool colors. Make a cool pattern with your blues and your greens and your purples. As you can see, I'm just going back over my warm colors. And now I'm coming back up and I'm just filling in the rest of the spaces. So just take your time. Make sure you spread out the 3 colors. So now I'm just going back in and adding a little more purple, and I'm going to finish it up with my green. So guys, once you're done, just make sure that you take a picture and upload this to Google Classroom. I hope you guys enjoy this project and have a good rest of the week. Talk to you soon. Bye.